Thank you. Pleasure to be here today with so many of you, representing so many different firms, companies, public institutions, so many missions, so many visions to transform the way you are doing business and to create value for your enterprises. This is inspiring to me. Because I care deeply about what IONOS does, about our mission, our vision, our purpose, which is to enable you to transform and to be at your best with the digital technology that we have at our disposal, and to make that access as easy and as democratic as it possibly can be. But today, it can feel like we're hitting some ridiculous challenges in business, some challenges that make it hard to find the right personnel. It seems like every shop has a sign out, help wanted. Every restaurant says closed on Thursdays because we have no waiting staff. It seems like every road you drive over has potholes. Every train you enter seems to be late. And trying to apply for a permit digitally, whether it's for building a data center or just to get an ordinary permit for holding a dog on a leash, is hard and analog. And at the same way, we're leading and we're beset by rising costs, which really makes it hard for business to turn a dime, to grow, and to be profitable and at your best. We're here to try and help with some of that, because I firmly believe there's three elements, three main pillars at our disposal that can transform the way business is done and transform the way public administration works. And these are artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and digital sovereignty. Jens already gave you a few numbers. Here's a few more that should give us hope. 78% of companies in Germany today believe that AI will be transformative for their competitiveness and for their business. 81% of businesses are either already using the cloud in migration there or actively considering to. And fully 94% of companies believe that digital sovereignty matters because today they have critical supply chain dependencies abroad for their own digital supply chain. So these three matter tremendously, and they can transform the way business is done. Let's look at the first one in some depth. That's artificial intelligence. When I was here last year and we spoke about AI, I mentioned that we have an offering in beta. Very proud that working with our beta customers, the teams have put out a great, generally available AI solution that truly democratizes access. And that solution is the AI Model Hub. Why the AI Model Hub and why that product? Well, the AI Model Hub provides the leading open source models for you with an easy API-based consumption model. I firmly believe that open source, open weights AI is the way to go, and that at the current pace of development, open source AI will be good for 80% of use cases. This year, next year, the year after, open source AI is here to stay, and it offers the best value in the AI space. We're curating for you the best models from that space and making them available across a wide range of domains, whether that's text with large language models or whether that's image with generative AI for image creation. And the best thing is, we're enabling you to use your own data. Not like the medical practice that Jens was talking about. You don't have to send them to the United States. You can put them into trusted vector databases that sit inside a European data center subject to GDPR and are not used to train any model that serves any competitor or any other environment. Your data is yours. It stays yours, and it goes absolutely nowhere. And all that with an easy integration capability because we're compatible to industry standards and industry-leading API practices. It literally is a drop-in replacement, just better. Here's a look at how first customers and working with partners of the IONOS group are transforming their own digital services, and they give hope for transformation and for change, particularly in the public sector. The city of Freiburg is working with a partner to transform their digital customer service. They're making available 75,000 and more documents across everything the city of Freiburg has ever decided on, has ever written, has ever published. And they're making that available just one prompt away. How does it work technically? This is meant to be the technology keynote, right? So I'm allowed to talk about how that works technically. Okay, so what we do is we take the user prompt, we inject that with a system prompt to derive a query string, we put that query string into the vector database using an embedding model, and then we find the document that lie closest to that query in the vector embedding space. And after that, we tell the large language model, you are a customer service agent working for the city of Freiburg, trying to give the best customer service there is. Here's what the customer asked. Here's the 5 most relevant documents. Please compose your answer. This is how retrieval augmented generation, this is how use case customized large language models work today. And that tech is available on the IONOS AI Model Hub today. So you can go in and ask about the number of kindergarten places, daycare places. You can ask about the building code. You can ask about residency permits. Anything that is available in Freiburg documentation is becoming available through a transformative digital service that makes this access easy for everyone. And by the way, because it's a multimodal LLM below this also democratizes access because you don't even have to speak German to access the documents. Notice the query here is in English, but the underlying documents were in fact German. Works with most major languages supported by large language models today. And this is not all. Because the platform is truly multimodal, you can't just generate text, you can also tailor and generate image content for your segment of one marketing campaign, for your digital asset creation, for your web presence, anything that you need image for, the AI Model Hub also has you covered. You can tell I'm a bit excited about this, and I believe that we can transform the way automation is done, customer service is done, access to documents is done, and we just make it easier for everybody to do business this way. Let's move forward into cloud computing. Cloud computing is an exciting space because you don't need to run your own computers. You don't need to run your own service. You don't need your own team that's there to maintain a complex technology stack, to ensure your database is patched, to ensure you're safe against security vulnerabilities and more. The power of the cloud is that somebody runs that for you and gives you access through an easy contract-based API. This is what IONOS Cloud is about today. We're available in 10 cloud locations, running more than 39 cloud services, and everything is 100% CO2 neutral because we are using 100% green power to drive these data centers today. And when we last met at the IONOS Summit in 2023, this was what our cloud looked like from a service spectrum. Dedicated cores that give you great performance, a wealth of network stacks, the first load balancers, choice of storage, including local, network, and block storage, as well as incipient database as a service and platform services. I really am tremendously proud of what the team has done over the past 12 months because we've made IONOS Cloud twice as capable for you. We've added virtual CPUs that give you the best price-performance ratio while keeping the option of highest performance dedicated cores available for you. We've added auto-scaling so that you can scale resources to your demand on a virtual machine level. We've added a wealth of network capabilities, whether that's VPN gateways to connect to your on-premise systems or a developer laptop, API gateways, content delivery networks, file storage as a service with the NFS protocol so that you can give file system access, read-write many capabilities to Kubernetes situations, and more. We've expanded the database universe to give you the right tool for your problem, whether that requires specific flavor of SQL database, a NoSQL document store, Redis-compatible object stores and caches, or Kafka for event processing and event streams. We've built out the platform, the security capabilities, and of course, we've added AI. What does that do for you? What can you do with this? How does this change how you can use a cloud? With these capabilities, you can start building truly cloud-native applications on a platform that makes it easy to combine different digital services. Let's take the example that one of our customers is working on today, building out a distributed Internet of Things solution that's collecting solar device data, that's bringing that solar device data into NoSQL, SQL, time series type databases, doing metrics processing, running separate services on this, like alerting, that are loosely coupled through a message queue, and then pushing out everything through a powerful customer front end. These are the kinds of things you can do with a service-rich cloud that allows you to build applications the cloud-native way. Of course, the Champions League of building applications, of building solutions, of helping businesses transform and drive value is and has always been enterprise resource planning. So I'm very proud to call onto stage with me today our esteemed partner, Thomas Ovčarek from ProAlpha. Thomas, welcome.
Everyone.
Hey, good to see you, Thomas.
Welcome.
How are you doing today?
First of all, I want to say that I'm really grateful to be here with you on the stage. So thank you again, Markus. I'm amazed how many people we have in here. So good.
My pleasure hosting you. Thomas, not everybody here knows ProAlpha yet. That is a great opportunity to change that. What does ProAlpha do and how does it provide value to customers?
Sure. So ProAlpha is a large company who is providing the business software and also services to many different customers. Our customers are mainly from the sectors like production, automotive, wholesale. As a group, you can find us in nearly 52 locations across the world. So we are a fairly large company. We are hiring like almost 2,000 employees at the moment. I have to say that as a group, we consist of 12 companies. However, we are, let's say, in my case, focusing on the ERP software, as you mentioned already. But with those groups, basically, what we're trying to do is to enhance the functionality that sits in ERP beyond its normal usage. So with use cases like energy management, quality control, recruitment. Yeah? When it comes to cloud and IONOS, we started our story in cloud in 2016. That was a different provider at the time. Fortunately, in around 2019, we decided to look for someone else. We found IONOS. Right now, I can tell you it was a good choice. And we built our solution based on the IONOS platform to mainly help our existing customers in their cloud journey. Yeah? So many customers right now are considering to move to cloud, which is very obvious. So we are providing them with some services, support, how to easily migrate from on-prem to cloud with as little effort as possible.
That is a noble mission because transitions can be make or break. And I think the ERP system is probably the one thing that a CIO's career can trip over. So it's good to see them in such capable and safe hands. Thomas, tell us more about how you're using the IONOS cloud to deliver that service to customers. Which services, which capabilities are you using today?
Sure. So as we all know, ERP are very complex systems. Yeah? It's not just an easiest translation service or something like that. So as a result of the design of our solution, we are mainly using your computing resources at IONOS. So I have to say that we use more than right now 3,000 dedicated cores at IONOS. In total, it is roughly 120 virtual data centers located in Frankfurt and in Berlin. Next to that, of course, since we use you as some sort of infrastructure as a service, we obviously use tons of storage, network infrastructure. Yeah, I have to admit that with that design, for us as a company, it's much easier because we doesn't have to take care about those old technical details that you are handling efficiently in the cloud. Here I also need to mention that there are some managed services that are beyond the infrastructure. And I have to admit that we are really happy with your partner in your cloud, which is accompanies, where we are using to protect our customer data, to store the backups in 2 different locations, encrypt them, and also monitor them. So it's very efficient. Yeah.
It's great to know. We'll be sure to let Katja and the team know. They always appreciate this. Thomas, I showed some new things that IONOS Cloud has brought out this year, and I was wondering, how does that fit your roadmap? What are your expectations? Where do you would like us to take IONOS Cloud going forward to best serve you and your end clients?
Okay, so indeed, same as you, same ProAlpha is constantly looking how we can improve our services. Yeah, it is obvious that the better it is, the easier it is for customer to, let's say, to use it. It is also cheaper, especially these days when you look at the costs perspective. So one of the services that we are actively looking right now into is the virtual CPUs. Yeah, so definitely for that one, it helps us to migrate some of the non-productional load or like the non-customer load into a cheaper, let's say, computing infrastructure. So that's definitely one. We are also actively looking into your web application firewall solution. So by that, we are hoping that we'll be able to offload our, let's say, existing effort that we do for our firewall solution into IONOS hands to professionalize it and be able to focus on what we are good at, meaning like operating our product within your cloud. Yeah.
Fantastic. If there's one thing you could wish for that's not yet on the list, what would that be?
Which is not on the list. It's hard to say at this stage. So we are still catching up after you. So we are sounds like a bit in front of us. But I need to say in here that I'm pretty glad to see on your roadmap, on the future roadmap, some elements that was some sort of problem for us in the past. And one of it that I remember was the virtual desktop, for instance. So we've been struggling with this one, and I'm glad to say that it seems like we've been heard, and IONOS put it on the roadmap, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, and I think there are also some things around security, which is extremely important topic these days, you know all that. So yeah, I saw over there that you are building some features and service which we can use to, let's say, make our solution more secure. Right now, we are using some, let's say, third-party components, but it looks like soon in the future we'll be able to use something which is built inside the IONOS platform.
Thank you for sharing, Thomas, and thank you for joining us here.
Thank you all.
Let's meet up later.
Sure. Maybe I was a chance, just the last one. I invite you more than welcome for my session at 4 o'clock when we'll be talking a little bit more about the operation routines at ProAlpha. Thank you.
4 o'clock, be there or be square. Thank you, Thomas. And let me look forward into the roadmap and the vision of where we look to take IONOS Cloud in future. So future evolution, the first step is to consolidate the presence. We would like every service there is to be available in every data center where there's customer demand with a universally high level of integration between the graphical tooling and the API tooling. So first and foremost, we're looking to consolidate all the new things that are created and out there, provided that customer demand underpins all of them. So this is going to be driven by your inputs. You get to vote with your feedback and your wallets what we do. Looking further out in terms of vision, there's a few elements that I would like to continue bringing to the cloud and that we've heard from customers, from partners, from project leaders, from implementers, from everybody using the cloud. A lot of that is about AI at the moment. Hey, can you get proper pure GPUs for us attached to a virtual machine as a bare metal? Now, inside Kubernetes, this is of course something that we're looking into because customers are always looking to do more. And some of these scenarios just require a pure GPU and stacks that work on that. We've worked hard to improve our identity and access management. We're looking to expose that as a service and to give you things that every application builder needs, things like how do I manage my keys? How do I juggle secrets in a secure way? It's table stakes. You need to have that when you build an application, but doing it right is actually surprisingly tricky, so having an as-a-service could help. Expanding the space of databases, expanding the storage and performance and reliability replication classes in storage. Further growing traffic processing All of these are on our vision list for building out IONOS Cloud so that when we meet here again next year, we have exciting new services for you to use and partake in. So use today. Work with your IONOS counterparts. Connect with people. We love your feedback, and your feedback is going to further shape roadmap and vision based on where you need to take your business and which services you need to make that come true. With this, I want to move over to the space of digital sovereignty. What makes you digitally sovereign? What is digital sovereignty in the first place? How does IONOS go about that? Well, for us, it's 4 major building blocks. The first and most important of them is open source. Open source is the great leveler. Open source is the great equalizer. Open source is what gives you access to a powerful solution that's always evolving, getting better, getting patched, getting secured, and that does not carry a lock-in because you can take open source everywhere. If you are on open source, you are sovereign. The next part to this is hardware. If you go for single vendor proprietary solutions with a deep integration into a stack, it's hard to switch. If you go for white label, open box, standard components from multiple vendors, and you run the intelligence on top of that in terms of software, particularly in terms of open source software, you are a sovereign because nobody can threaten your supply chain. This is what IONOS is doing in terms of our data center content and the technology we apply. And those data centers themselves, well, if you would like to be digitally sovereign, they have to be where you are. They have to be on your territory. They have to be subject to your country's laws and regulations. This is why we're proud to be running our own data centers in Europe, many co-location sites in Europe and abroad, and an extensive own network with a dark fiber backbone and with redundancy that's been upgraded and expanded multiple times to ensure that we provide a great service no matter if it's snowing, raining, or flooding outside, because the weather is getting more extreme. You have to account for that, you have to plan for that so that you truly are sovereign over your infrastructure. Last but not least, it's also about certifications and attestations, because you don't have to take my word for digital sovereignty or security. You can actually take the word of some of the industry's toughest regulators on the planet, the German BSI, and some of the most professional certification and attestation bodies on the planet. Which is why the array of certifications that IONOS holds to make sure you are secure, your data is secure, your customers' data are secure and trusted matters so much to me. We're ISO 27001 for security. We're IT Grundschutz for many parts of our scope. We are newly C5 compliant with a C5 Type 1 attestation derived in the past year that particularly secures our cloud and the infrastructure components of that. For the hosting business, we've been critical infrastructure for a long time. We're CRITIS, and the new NIS2 regulation that Europe has put afoot and that Germany is currently converting into national law actually doesn't faze us. I know this is a big problem for many industry players. I know that particularly some of the smaller DNS and domains players are now racing to catch up because they are suddenly subject to the same level of regulation that a CRITIS, an ISO 27001, a Grundschutz demanded, and a 3-person mom and pop shop is really hard pressed to do that. They don't even have enough people for the segregation of duties. We're already there for the most part because we have all these certifications in place, and we're looking forward to the NIS2 certification exercise together with our regulation and attestation partners. That's just a glimpse of what we're doing in the certification space. We're never stopping. We've added a certified CNCF compliant Kubernetes to that list of certifications in the past year as well. For those of you who are not familiar, CNCF is the Cloud Native Computing Foundation, an impressive industry body championing and driving a large array of open source initiatives in the technology body. We're also proud to be a silver member there as part of the certified Kubernetes environment. And we look forward to continue to work with the open source and certification ecosystem. With that, IONOS today is already a trusted partner for the public sector, with applications spanning the Informationstechnikzentrum Bund, Dataport, the Institute for Aerospace and Special Applications, as well as many institutes, schools, universities, and service providers. We look forward to working with all of you and to help you digitize, be the best you can be, deliver the best service for our customers, for this nation. And we look forward to taking that step into the digital now with all of you. Whether you're a business, whether you're a small firm, an NGO, whether you are a public entity, your mission, your vision, your passion about what you want to achieve is the limit, and we're here to raise that limit, to raise the bar together with all of you. Thank you.